You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. One person was taken into custody following a firearm-related incident in Serona on Thursday. According to the Washburn County Sheriff's Office, authorities responded to reports of gunshots at around 6 p.m. When they arrived at the scene, they established a perimeter and activated the county's special response team. After entering the home, authorities allegedly found a loaded rifle within reach of a bedbound man who was taken into custody. He faces multiple charges, including domestic disorderly conduct and recklessly endangering safety. The Superior City Council plans to vote on changes to a state statute that would open up more federal funding for lead pipe replacements at their next meeting. The council held discussions on the potential change at their meeting last week, which would allow private companies like Superior Water, Light, and Power to access federal grant money to cover the cost of replacing lead water pipes for their customers. Critics of the proposal, including Mayor Jim Payne, say the city should not need to rely on a private company to undertake the replacements. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection has revealed the top 10 complaints they received for 2024. According to a press release, the agency says landlord and tenant issues were the most reported issues, with over 2,500 complaints submitted last year. Officials also saw over 1,500 telemarketing complaints, as well as home improvement, identity theft, and other telecommunications complaints. Residents also filed numerous complaints regarding motor vehicle issues and medical services. A Rice Lake affordable housing project is now at a standstill as the city reclaims ownership of the site. The project would have seen a former nursing home on Newton Street converted into an affordable housing complex. The city purchased the land in 2018 and contracted the nonprofit Moving Out for the renovations. Amid supply chain issues and growing construction costs, the nonprofit did not apply for needed tax credits this year, and the city terminated the contract. Officials still believe they have options for affordable housing at the property. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services confirmed a second pediatric influenza-associated death in the state on Friday. According to health officials, the death occurred during the week of January 26th to February 1st, months after the first confirmed pediatric death in September. The Department of Health Services has been warning residents of higher flu activity this winter and recently saw the highest number of flu-related hospitalizations in a week since January of 2018. Officials also say flu vaccination rates are down this year. Governor Tony Evers and Attorney General Josh Kaul have announced Wisconsin will join a lawsuit against the Trump administration, Elon Musk, and the Department of Government Efficiency. The lawsuit was filed by a coalition of 19 states and accuses the administration of allowing Musk's team to gain access to the Treasury Department's central payment system in violation of federal law. The system controls funding for programs that Americans depend on, like Social Security, veterans benefits, and Medicare and Medicaid payments. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is once again reminding residents that no ice is 100% safe as sturgeon spearing season kicks off. DNR officials say there have already been 6 fatal UTV accidents in the state this year, 4 of which involved the vehicles going through the ice. Residents planning on hitting the ice this weekend should remember to check with local fishing clubs for updates on ice conditions beforehand, bring proper safety gear, and inform people where they're going and when they expect to return. Spooner area students planning on entering a health-related field could receive a $2,000 scholarship from a local organization. The volunteers of Spooner Health have announced they are accepting applications from graduating Spooner High School students and non-traditional students. 2 scholarships of $2,000 will be awarded, and applications must be submitted on the Spooner Health website by March 31st. Students interested in the healthcare field could also be eligible for the organization's job shadowing program. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has ruled that Megan Wolf can remain in her position as the Wisconsin Elections Commission Administrator despite her appointment ending in 2023. In a unanimous decision announced on Friday, the court ruled that the Election Commission does not need to appoint a new administrator because there is no current vacancy in the position. State Republicans attempted to fire Wolf in September of 2023, but Democratic members of the commission split the vote by abstaining, allowing her to remain in the position. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Division of Motor Vehicles, has announced a new series of license plates on the way. According to a press release, the DMV will soon begin offering new plates starting with the letter B after running through about 4.7 million combinations beginning with the letter A over the last 8 years. Officials say they expect it to take about another 7 years to run through the license plate combinations starting with the letter B. The new plates should be seen out on the roads starting this month. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The Eagles win the Super Bowl. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens in New Orleans, where the Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22. Linebacker Zach Bond from Brown Deer, Wisconsin, and former Badger intercepted a pass just before the half that set up another Eagles touchdown.
When I'm relaxing with my family in Wisconsin, I'm just thinking about where I came from, what I did, and where I'm going.
The Chiefs denied the chance to be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
I can't turn the ball over early in the game when it's not going our way, and I'll have to learn from that and try to be better the next opportunity that I hopefully get.
NBA, the Bucks with a win at home, 135-127 over the 76ers. Damian Lillard with a season-high 43 points.
I think I hit my first 2 threes, so, obviously that's a good sign. You hit those couple threes, it feel good. You see the ball go in early. The ball was moving. It was just a good flow to the game, so I felt good because of the flow of the game.
That's the Bucks' Damian Lillard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Conrad Krieger. Well, in case you missed it, the 2025 NFL Honors took place Thursday night. Here are some winners from this past season. Joe Burrow for the Comeback Player of the Year. Jaden Daniels as the Rookie of the Year. Walter Payton, Man of the Year, Jaguars defensive end Eric Armstead, who established the Armstead Academics Project in 2019 to provide young students with positive spaces, tools, and academic support to unlock their potential. Pretty cool. NFL Offensive Player of the Year, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley. But for the MVP, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who gave a wholesome MVP speech. Snoop Dogg made an appearance on the show with country singer Jelly Roll, who both came out in full gear. Snoop Dogg for the Steelers and Jelly Roll for the Tennessee Titans. Snoop Dogg also had some comments on how he's been a football fan for a long time, and he remembers back when the Cowboys were good, and back when the Chiefs were bad, and before Bill Belichick's girlfriend wasn't even born yet. Top Gun fans are hoping for a third film, but actor Miles Teller told Stephen Colbert he has not heard any updates. The Top Gun 2 actor who plays Rooster in the film did tell the talk show host that he has made one demand of the film star's Tom Cruise. If there is a third film, Teller wants some warning, so he has time to get in shape. Ideally, 1 month per ab, so a total of 6 months. Rumors that the third film is in development have not been confirmed. Demi Moore is nominated for a Best Actress for her role in The Substance, an impressive achievement for someone who was labeled a popcorn actress years ago by producer. Moore talked about her Golden Globe acceptance speech on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show, where she mentioned the producer's prediction. Kimmel asked her if she thought the producer, who has since passed away, heard her speech. Moore said, "He's probably rolling over in his grave. Revenge is a dish best served when the other person is still alive, but I'm sure it still feels good." Adam Scott is on a roll. The Severance star is returning to the film genre that gave him a start. Scott is signed on to the project to play a horror novelist who visits an Irish inn to disperse his parents' ashes, only to find out it's haunted. Hawk'em will be directed by Irish director Damien McCarthy, who directed last year's critically acclaimed oddity. Scott got his start in the genre with a 1996 Hellraiser Bloodline. This film is still in pre-production. Adrian Brody says the makeup artist of The Brutalist tried to remove his prosthetic nose. The only problem is, it was not prosthetic. Apparently, Brody's real nose looked fake to the makeup artist. The Oscar-nominated actor told Jimmy Fallon he asked her if she was trying to remove that, and she said yes, and he said it doesn't come off. Brody says he and the makeup artist had a laugh after she said this is going in my diary, and Brody said that this is going in his talk show repertoire. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
We are heading into a cold week this week. We'll be cloudy by this afternoon with a little light snow by late this afternoon into this evening. Our high today around 12 tonight. Clearing with a low of 14 below tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a high of only 2 above. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 6 below zero.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.